This is a time of year we start talking springtime stuff. There's been a camping show, RV show, and now there's a big golf show out there. But let's talk Super Bowl. Whether you're watching the game or not, it is an event. Hondo is going to be on with us just after 8 o'clock in New Orleans, NFL senior writer with Sports Illustrated and our good pal, giving us some exclusive time. And like he said yesterday, it's an event. It's more than a game. Game just happens to be part of it. So whether you're watching for the game or the ads or the halftime or whatever, or you're just looking for an excuse to have a bunch of chicken wings, Monday's going to come. You're not going to feel like, and even if you don't have too much to drink, it's just Monday after the Super Bowl. You want some time. So there's been this push. They call it Super Sick Monday, where you call in sick, but you're not really sick, but maybe you are. Record level absenteeism expected on Monday. Imagine if the Lions had been in, like everyone was thinking. So you're going to pull a Ferris Bueller on Monday? Our good friend David C. Olcott, workplace expert and CEO of the Samurai Success. I love that. International executive, personal coach, and doing his thing. He never calls in sick. David C. Olcott joins us. How you doing, David? Good morning.
Great, Mike. Thanks for having me on the show.
This is, by the way, I want to plug your book, too, Swords of Illumination, which is a groovy name, but we'll get into that in just a minute. How many people are we talking, really? Because the Lions aren't in, so I think Michiganders going, okay, I'm going into work.
Well, let's just use the NFL jersey observer role, if you will, because each company is going to be really identified based upon the fan base that you have, like you said, with Lions. But if you've watched your people parade all week long in any NFL jersey, you've got to probably take a look at that. If they're in a Chiefs or an Eagles jersey, you probably know that they're probably not going to make it in for money because somebody's going to be happy and somebody's going to be sad.
I went to a thing yesterday where I had to be over in, I had to be over in GR, it's in Grand Rapids yesterday, for a business thing. This guy showed up in a Eagles jersey. I said, what are you doing? What is that? He says, it's my team, man. Okay, whatever, in Michigan. Okay, good for you. But that's beside the point. So, well, what are the excuses people are, because can't you just say, yeah, look, I was into the Super Bowl, I'm just not feeling it today. There's a national movement, isn't there, for taking Monday off?
There really is. As a matter of fact, that national movement has been going on for the last 50 years. So,
oh, really?
Wow. It's been for a long time. As a matter of fact, I was talking to a staff member who is just an absolute fan of football and just fanatical, and she remembers in her 20s where she's like, yeah, I would not show up for work, or I would not do this. And I was like, wow, that's amazing because she's such a great worker today. But this is what this looks like this time of year, and it's not something that really is a surprise for us. It's just something we need to start taking better control of.
So, I know it takes congressional stuff probably and all that to declare a national holiday. Is there a serious movement on this part, or is it just workers going like, yeah, I sure wish it was a national holiday?
It's more of a workers' push to be able to do that because they really do want that day off to be able to enjoy themselves. So.
Yeah. And any of the bosses because you work with a lot of CEOs and bosses and business owners, any of them get it? Because they probably want to take a day off too. Do any of them just actually capitulate and just go like, you know what? I guarantee you there would be small business owners in Michigan if the Lions had gotten in that would have said Monday,
Absolutely. Because they're in charge of things, they can really do that and create their own national holiday within their businesses. But for those that haven't set that parameters, here's a great strategy for you. Sometimes we can't control the wind, but we can adjust our sails, right? And the big idea here is if you've got a big project that's due on Monday, I want you to think about rescheduling that. Here's why. 2 reasons. Let's imagine your team is just awesome. They're just so loyal, and most of them are. And also they all show up, and they're working on this project. Well, remember, they're also working with other companies that may not have those employees show up. So that goal for the day is really going to be lost in quality control. So if you can, reschedule that for that. If you can't reschedule, make sure, please, that you really cross-check and verify the work done by that team because things can be missed after a big party like this.
But is it maybe, now this is the workaholic part of me coming in, all right? Is it maybe an opportunity for people who don't get off the treadmill to take advantage of those people who let their guard down. Business is a competition. And so Monday, hey, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to take advantage of everybody else with their laurels down and rested on their laurels. I love that you said you can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. What if I adjust my sails to hammer down on Monday now? Here I come.
Well,
maybe I'm.
Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was just thinking maybe I'm thinking of this all wrong.
Well, here's the thing. Let's say we give Mike the day off on Monday, right? What does Mike do with that day?
I'll probably, to be honest with you, David, I'm going to work.
You can, exactly, because that's how you're programmed, man. So having the day off, you just do what you do because it's who you are, man. It's part of your identity, and that's a big missing element in our new generation coming up in the workforce is they don't identify with work as with who they are like we did and that we do. I mean, we're driven by this stuff.
I guess, yeah, but you know what? I enjoy what I do. Now, I've said it before, and I don't, bloviate or anything, but this is what I do for a living. And when I'm not on the air here, I'm narrating corporate stuff or I'm doing commercials or whatever. So it's not like I'm on a roof somewhere swinging a hammer in sub-zero weather. I really feel for those people, and God love you. Thank you. So I don't mind I don't mind working like all the time because it's not really like work. But if you're say you're in an office with people that you kind of like them. You're looking for every opportunity, I suppose, to get a little respite.
Yes,
maybe
sir.
that's it.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I get it. Human resource people probably understand this, huh?
Yes, I would have to say so.
Yeah. What are you doing Monday, David?
What am I doing Monday? I'm working. Well, I actually won't be watching this football. I haven't watched football in so many years because I have so many people around me telling me every single play-by-play, so I can just listen to my phone and get every detail that I need. Yeah,
and again, I mean, it's about more like the chips and the commercials this year for me. But I like football, so I will watch that. Although who you picking? I'm going to ask everybody this: who you picking?
Well, no team's ever done it before. 3 times Super Bowl win in a row, but the Chiefs are just an amazing team right now. I know the Eagles really, really want to win, especially after Kelsey leaving and stuff like this. But wow, I think the Chiefs have the best edge for sure.
All right, we can't be friends, but that's okay.
I know.
That's all right.
I agree. I'm a Broncos fan, for God's sake.
Oh, Broncos, man. I go back to the days of the Orange Crush. Come on.
Wow, yes, sir.
Yeah, David, I'll call. All right, let me ask you this. Swords of Illumination. First of all, it sounds like a book about medieval knights in shining armor, but that's not what you're talking about in your book. Swords of Illumination. What is that?
So one of the things you and I just talked about earlier was that, how we're programmed to be able to go toward life. If we believe that I'm a glass half empty person or a glass half full person, I've just created a whole filtering system that I run my entire life off of. That filtering system is called an identity. Understanding that you're not here to discover your identity, you're actually here to create your identity is what that book is really entailed to do, because that's, over my lifetime, I found that the most successful people on the planet do that singular characteristic. They don't wait for people to tell them who they are. They create who they are, and they live that life from that perspective. That book helps you do that.
So someone who gets that, do they sit down every day, every month or whatever, and think about that? I mean, is that in your book? Because honestly, I think I do that, but I never think about doing it.
Right. It's so interesting because people always say if you don't have a plan, you have a plan to fail, right? And so the idea here is that if I'm just thinking about something, Mike, I can think all the time about very deep subjects. I'm with you. But if we don't apply something to that thinking, then we're not actually experiencing things. And that experience is what makes us unique and different, which means that, hey, if I have this thought process and idea or strategy, but I've never applied it in my life, I'm going to come off very differently than someone who actually has applied that. That frequency difference is what people listen to.
Why Swords of Illumination? Sounds very violent.
Yeah, well, that's based upon the samurai, of course, and that's martial art that I've studied for most of my life called Aikido.
Okay.
But, yeah, exactly. So the idea here is that I'm a big fan of a gentleman named Augmentino, and he wrote in fable form, which that book is about, and it also has each one of these swords that are in the book actually is an idea, a principle for life about how to change that programming to be able to live the life you really want to.
All right, David C. Olcott. Yeah, Super Sick Monday, it's called. Just to know that you may find a lot of people off work, or maybe it's going to be you. And Swords of Illumination, by the way, David, I will just like to let you know you're sending me an autographed copy. So
yes,
just
sir, I am.
So you know that. All right. I wouldn't. You know what? You think I'm joking? As soon as we hang up, I'm texting you my address. All right.
It's on its way, sir.
All right, pal. Thanks a lot, David. Stay in touch, and have a great weekend.
Talk to you soon.